Hey everyone, this is Zoras, not casuals, and in today's video we're gonna take a look at this new commander Mulan that just came out. We're gonna go over her skills, her abilities, her talent, and explain where she's good and if she is worth investing in. So Mulan is out finally. We've heard a lot of things about her before. A lot of people thought she was going to replace Aethelflaed in the expedition tokens. Sadly, it is not the case. She is going to be given for free when you log on. There is an event right now that will last for quite a long time. If you look right here, Legendary Heroine. So you see, logging in just gives you 10 of her sculpture, and then you have a little event to kill 40 barbarians, and it's 14 days left on this. So anyone's account right now who would like a free legendary commander, just log in on these accounts or create new accounts for farms if you'd like, because she's still a pretty okay commander to get for free. Now, the best thing about unlocking Mulan is that you will get this bundle again, which, as we have said many times before, is the best bundle in the game. If you're going to buy anything in this game, this is it. So obviously that's a very good thing. So my general opinion of Mulan will be that she is going to be a pretty good commander, but only for the purpose of buffing and debuffing, similar to Joan of Arc, for example. But she is not really better than Joan unless she's expertise. Now, as I said, she did not replace Aethelflaed in the expedition. Instead, she has become a gold key commander. So she's not right now in the gold tavern, but she will be next week. So that will be a good thing for those who have been playing for a long time and have had a lot of time to accumulate gold keys. Otherwise, for any accounts that are not full of gold keys or pretty new, she will be requiring these universal to upgrade. And obviously, as we know, gold keys commanders are not usually recommended to use universals on because it means you will eventually get them for free if you play long enough. As well as you can tell that she is a peacekeeper, a support, and integration. None of these trees are really good as main commanders. Now, peacekeeping and support is already what Aethelflaed does. So she's not really a very good commander to invest in. She will do decent as a 5-5-1-1, and then you'll just have to wait until you expertise her. She'll be a good secondary peacekeeper, but I don't see any player who's not a well expertising her anytime soon. Now, if we look at her skills, the first skill is basically an AoE buff. The circular effect area, which I'll show you later in the video, is basically the same as Joan of Arc, but the buff is about 15% to all stats and 25% to march speed bonus when it's full. Now, if you expertise that, it goes higher now. It's 20% to all stats and 30% march speed. So, of course, one expertise, this buff is very good, very decent, but not anywhere near as good as Joan of Arc's buff. It's basically kind of like a subpar Joan of Arc. If we go and look at her second skill, basically, if you're being swarmed with this commander, you will take reduced damage by 5%, and counter-attacking has a chance to reduce rage on the target once every 5 seconds. So if it was not once every 5 seconds, it would be great against Swarm. It might even have some kind of utility on some walls or objectives or rallies, but in this case, it does not really. It's okay, but you know, she's not a very tanky commander. She doesn't have really a lot of tankiness in the toolkit. So being swarmed will basically just means you die. As much as this is good, it's not great. Now, if we go here, basically both commanders in the army gain up to 95% experience bonus. Well, that's great, but spending hundreds of universal sculptures to get this skill up will not be worth it whatsoever. And if we go here, now this is probably her best skill, but it is the fourth one. So again, unless you expertise her, you will most likely not get full 5 points here. This basically gives you an attack bonus to the army, which is in itself amazing. It's a very good 20% attack bonus. When serving as secondary commander, her active skill caused the target to take increased damage, so she has to be the secondary commander for this to work at all. And you can increase the damage taken by the march that it's attacking by up to 20% from all sources. This is where this ability would really shine, because if you have one army attacking with this debuff, and you have a rally at the same time, the rally will hit 20% harder. This can do amazing mixes with Attila Takeda later on. So this is going to be, yes, a very good skill, but again, not something that's worth investing 690 universal sculpture, because it's a very specific purpose and it's still a very squishy march no matter where you put her. So I like the commander, yes, But again, this is not as good as Joan of Arc. There's no rage generation. She's basically a lesser Joan of Arc and a lesser Constantine. Now, she will do very well as a buffing march if you do, for example, Constantine Mulan. You can do Aethelflaed Mulan, even Joan of Arc Mulan. But most of these marches are going to be insanely squishy because, again, those are none of these commanders are tanky. It's really not a super tanky march. You could put her as a secondary to Richard, for example, or Martel, but then you are losing like the Joan of Arc. You need Joan of Arc to be secondary as one of those as well. So you're kind of like running out of space on where to put her because there's a lot of other commanders that do as well or better. Aethelflaed is better than her, Constantine is better than her, Joan of Arc is better than her. So if you have a space to put her, she will do well, but it is a very, very expensive commander for such a specific situation. Now, when she's expertise, she will have great utility in some situation, as I said, mixed with open field fighting in KVK, attacking close to a rally to buff the rally, same as Joan of Arc. When we do low horse trial, for example, when you have these armies nearby kind of buffing the area so that your main army is stronger, this will be perfect. She will do very well in these, but again, you will need to invest a lot for her to actually be very good, and that investment is not worth it, considering that the third skill is completely useless because most players who will be able to expertise her do not need experience anymore. So it will be good for her to level up for free, kind of, but it's other than that, it's basically completely wasted. Once she levels 60, this skill is gone. It's like she has only 3 skills instead of 4. And again, this is great, but you need to be swarmed for it to have any effect. If you're not even being attacked, this is completely wasted. So it's like you have only really 2 abilities, one of which is not even that good compared to Joan of Arc. So I have very mixed feeling on this commander. I personally will not put a single soldier in her. I will open golden keys, and when I have them, I'll have them, and that's about it. Once she's like 5-5-1-1, I'll use her to do barbarians, and then when she gets to level 30, 40, 50 for free, she'll be a good barbarian killer because the talent is peacekeeping and support. So there's nothing really great in here. Now, if we look at the talents more closely, okay, of course, peacekeeping, it's really just for peacekeeping. For barbarians, she will do okay at that, same as any other commander. There's nothing specific about her that does more damage anyways. Now, the integration tree here is okay, but it is a mixed army tree. So it has these abilities that increase only one type of unit's strength, and all 4 of these are different types of units. So a lot of those is not really great. Now you have a little bit of this here, maximum troop capacity, that's great. And this is great when you have a mixed army again. The tree that you would use her on, if you're going to be using it as primary, it'll be probably full peacekeeping with this rejuvenate, of course, as any kind of hero that has support. If you are using her as primary for like sunset or some open field, I would probably recommend going all out in the support tree. Maybe getting 1 point here, you don't even have to, but getting this and getting this can be pretty good because it'll make her a bit tankier. Now, there's also this ability here if you have a healer as a primary, like Richard and her, for example. But again, none of this is really good for tankiness. This is really mixed army stuff. It's not that great. So she doesn't have really a good tree to be a leader. This is why she's not going to be used as a primary. She'll be kept at level 20 or 30 and be a support commander, a secondary commander that doesn't really have a great role. She's basically a lesser good version of Joan of Arc, but by being legendary. So I'm really disappointed that she wasn't added to the expedition because that would have been a great hero to have as expedition because she's not that great, but for free-to-play she would do a very, very good job and will help in many ways. She could replace Constantine, for example, since it's an MGE commander. But in the way she is right now, she's going to be kept in golden keys. She's going to be probably one of the least used commanders. She's going to be along with all our nice friends who are useless, such as our nice Charlemagne here that I didn't bother summoning yet because there's no point at all. He doesn't do anything in this game whatsoever. So, yeah, quite of a disappointment, but, nice to have a free commander because really this is the best thing that came out of her. Now, she will have some usage in the game when we do some AoE stuff, such as I said, KVK open field and stuff. Like, having 1 or 2 players who have her expertise will really come in handy for some scenario, like Ciroli, for example, but she is going to be very, very limited in how she works. Now you can see here, this is the AoE, basically. I'm just going to show you how big the circle is. So exactly the same as Joan of Arc. Basically, we'll just have a big circle and everything around here is going to get buffed. Obviously, once she's leveled up with the skill, she will debuff the enemy army that she's attacking once she's secondary again. So That's about it. That's all she has. She has a buff and a debuff. Everything else is quite wasted unless you're getting swarmed. So, yeah, not a huge fan, but she looks really good. She is a very easy 10 sculpture for free. So, thank you for that, Lilith. And I will, like I said, I will be leveling her up slowly as a peacekeeper. I will be hoping for some sculptures in the gold keys, and that's really the only thing I'll ever do with her for a very long time. So if you have any different ideas or thoughts about how to use her, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Of course, there will be things that will be found out in the future. I'm sure people will find a really interesting way to use this for a huge damage advantage in some rallies and stuff, as I said. But other than that, I don't think we'll be seeing much of her in the battlefield unless they change something or add her to the expedition. So unless they do that anytime soon, we probably won't see much of her until some whales max her. So, as always, guys, share your thoughts in the comments or come on our Discord channel, which is in the description. Make sure to share your ideas or opinions about this commander. We are open to suggestions and making other guides for her if we find out really cool stuff about her or ways to be used. And make sure to drop a like and subscribe to this channel if you like Rise of Kingdom content. There will be a lot more Rise of Kingdom as well as other very similar strategy games. If you're into that, subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for watching and we'll see you next time.